What's going on, y'all? This is Sir Anthony Brown podcast. My goal here is to basically open up people to understand the minds of people in the black community. Not just celebrities and taking advice from people that got all this money and they look at life and they see life completely different than everyday average men. Because at the end of the day, most women are going to end up with average men. So we need to listen to what average men say, how they feel, how they think, because that's just the reality of most people's lives. The majority of us are average, and very little of us are rich. And so I got my first guest today, my boy 10K _ Smash. I know I'm from high school. I don't know which one to be referred to.
Yeah, that cool right there.
You want to be Zay or 10K? Want me to call you 10K?
Yeah, you can call me that.
10K it is. So I want to start the conversation off because I just seen a Instagram. I seen you post on Instagram. You was talking about how women was saying you don't hold women accountable. And I guess you posted it on the story or something because I missed it. And so I wanted to touch on what was the topic that you were speaking about, looking to get people's opinion about it.
The topic was about it's a lot of women on my Facebook and IG who always say that I don't give men accountability, that I always put it on women. And I'm like, it start with you women first. You know what I'm saying? Y'all decide who you want to open your legs to. Y'all decide who you want to have babies by. Men decide who they want to marry. So if a man married the wrong woman, the accountability would be on that man. If a woman giving her legs to everybody and you getting upset because you're not getting the results, then that accountability is on women. My opinion.
So hold on. So you just said if a man marries the wrong woman, do you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. If a man marries the wrong woman, that accountability is on him because he didn't do his homework on the one he wanted to marry. If a woman decides to have a baby by the wrong dude, that's on her because that's who she chose to give her wounds to. And I could go more in details about that if that's what's needed.
Okay, well, do you believe? Let me ask you this: do you believe that women change after becoming pregnant?
Change for us what?
Do you think there are things changing in as far as personality that would cause even a man that married her to start considering like, okay, I married the wrong one? Do you think women change?
Not in that situation. Not in that particular situation, how you chose it. You know what I'm saying? I think women change based off their results of the type of guys who they so desperately want. You know what I'm saying? Like when it comes to dudes who they don't really care about, who they don't pay attention to, they'll forever stay the same because they mind not getting challenged, you know. But to them dudes who they really want and they not getting the results they want, one or two things happen. Either they stay victim their whole life and stay blaming the type of man, or they step into reality and realize the type of man who they want is not good for their soul.
Okay, so do you think expectations are created once a man, once a woman is pregnant? Do you think she put any expectations on a man?
I think the expectations come before she pregnant. That's the whole reason of her having the baby. You know what I'm saying? The only thing she do is just hope for more of it. You know what I'm saying? So when a woman have a baby by a man, she looking for him to be the father. Then she's looking for marriage, and she hoping it be a forever ship.
Okay, so you think women get pregnant with the intention that their child's father would marry them? Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
yeah. In some cases, yeah.
In some cases, would you say it's over 50% that would be the case, or you think less than 50% that would be the case?
The in times we live in now, I think it's more the case. You know, they'll let somebody put a baby up in them, hoping he'll want her forever.
Okay, so why do you think once women get pregnant, because according to the statistics looking on blackdemographics.com, you're looking at about 70%, over 70, more closer to 75% of black homes are being ran by single black women. So we're just going to speak in the family of the black community. So you think that women get pregnant in expectations for marriage? You think that? So you don't think there's you think there's a greater percentage that women actually get pregnant hoping for marriage? So you think it's like they're trapping dudes?
I wouldn't necessarily call it trapping. It's more like turning their fantasy into reality.
Okay, so you just think they're moving too fast without the assurance.
Facts.
Okay, so do you really think just 75% of black men are just leaving their homes, or do you think that there's something causing them to walk away? What's causing our homes to be fatherless in the black community? What's causing? What do you think is causing that?
The women, the choices women make. You know what I'm saying? That's what's causing it. Like, you got a lot of good dudes in this world. It's a lot of good dudes in this world, but they not getting picked. You know what I'm saying? Those are the good fathers. Those your husbands right there. You know what I'm saying? So women choosing the wrong type of guys, those guys don't want a home with you. They just want to come there every now and then to fuck on you. But to stay there with you and build a home, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, not with the type of guys these women be choosing.
Okay. So you don't believe men could change?
I believe a man could change when he's ready to grow up mentally.
So you don't believe men could change when he's ready to grow up mentally? How long do you think that takes? Why is it not before they get a woman pregnant do they make the decision to mature?
Because you got to think, the times we live in, you got a lot of broken homes already. So you got a lot of dudes out here who want to play it most safe, you know, or they feel like they got to look cool to their homies. You know what I'm saying? By being like a player, having all these women a part of their team. You got a lot of dudes who ain't ready. They don't have a lot of mentors or fathers or father figures to teach them how to be men. So a lot of times the people got to like figure it out on their own, and sometimes that could come real late. Like for me, it didn't hit me till I was like 31, and I'm 34.
When exactly didn't hit you till you was 34?
Me really growing up being a man.
Yep, you said to 31, so you're 34 right now?
Yeah,
Okay, 34. So 3 years ago. And how old is your son?
6.
6. So your son was 3 years old before you realized what it took to be a man. And I'm sure your son played a big role in it.
Yeah, he the one who, I didn't even know I had a kid out here. Like, my baby mama, she lied about a lot of stuff. So, but once I found out I had a kid, and I just felt like God gave me my purpose. You know what I'm saying? I knew I wanted to be everything for my son that I didn't have for a father. You know what I'm saying? Because my mama lied to me about that. She chose to go for a street nigga. You know? So.
Your father was a street
No, no,
guy?
no. My father, what was told to me, my father was a good dude. But my mother, she wanted street niggas. So them street niggas chased off my real daddy.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Do
and
you
that's
hear
what.
from your red dad now?
Nah, he passed away. That's how I found out about everything.
I'm sorry to hear that, my brother.
No, that's all good.
How long ago did he pass away? How old were you?
When that was? That was back like in 2007 when I found out.
2000.
Yeah.
That was like a year after we graduated. So did you actually get to meet him, or this is only what you've been told?
That was what I was being told. Like, once we got a letter to the house stating that he died, that's when the family decided to want to come out with some secrets.
Okay. So you said that women get pregnant for hopes of being married, but in your mother's case, that wasn't the case. Is what you're saying?
Nah, that wasn't the case at all. My mother was
Okay.
looking for love in all the wrong places.
Okay. So, what do you know any women in particular that did get pregnant with the hopes of being married to a guy, to the
Oh
baby
yeah.
father?
Oh hey, I know a lot of women like that. You know, they got pregnant hoping the dude would have been long term, would have put a ring on it. That's how I found out about a lot of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? A lot of women, they had somebody baby and they was hoping he would have changed, stayed down to her. They could have turned it to marriage. Like, I hear that from a lot of women.
No, I definitely believe that happens a lot. So, do you mind opening up what happened with you and your child's mother?
With that right there, I take accountability on that one, 100%. Because I knew exactly what type of woman she was. But the younger me, like, I was in a dark place. You know what I'm saying? So she came about based on me wanting sex from her. And, like, you know, I can admit it, I was thinking with my dick. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't her I really wanted, it was the sex I wanted. So I chose to keep her around. But the more I was with her, the more I was learning more about her. And I knew that if I wanted a wifey, it was nothing like her. But where I fucked up at was still keeping her around for the sex. And then over time, later on down the line, a baby came about. And I don't regret my son at all. Like, I love him to death. I just regret who I chose, you know, to have a baby with. Because I got to deal with that forever.
Well, tell us, how bad is she to where you felt like you had to make the decision to break that up instead of marrying her? Like, how bad was she?
She was bad to the point that, you know, and I ain't gonna put her business out there like that. I don't want to do that to her, but her and her family just had a lot of shit going on with them. And that's why I said, like, I take that accountability because I should not have put a baby in her. You know, it just happened. It wasn't like I was trying to do, huh?
Was it like a lot of drama?
It was like a drama. Like, her family, they love drama. They love being in the mix.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hood?
Yeah, she from Fourth Ward.
Okay. So she's from the hood. it's I'm very, very happy that you actually took accountability because, again, like you said, men need to know who they, having babies by before they do it. You're saying you was young and you wasn't thinking well. But my thing is, once your baby mama came out pregnant, did you not think you could get that hood mentality out of her and change her?
The way I see it, and I stand 10 toes on this, there's no human being on earth that could change somebody else. They gotta want that for themselves. You know what I'm saying? That's like trying to make somebody else happy, and they not trying to make themselves happy. You know what I'm saying? Like, a person gotta want that for themselves. So
Okay.
I feel like, in my opinion, you're being mentally drained yourself by trying to change somebody who don't want to be changed.
But okay, so tell me this. I heard you mention God earlier. So
Yeah.
would you consider yourself a man of God?
Yeah. But I'm not into like religion, but I definitely believe in a God.
You believe in a God. So okay, so tell me this. Because a God is just something or somebody we worship. Of course, I'm a Christian, so I follow Jesus, and Jesus is the son of the one and true only God. So that's the God I follow. And when you look at me and how I live life, it's based on the foundation of the Bible. So, according to you, you believe in a God, but who sets or how do you come up with your standard of life? Is it strictly based on how you feel?
Nah, my way of life is based off, morals, being logical. As human beings, we all know what's right. We know what's wrong. When you hurting somebody. You know the difference between good and evil. You know what I'm saying? So us as human beings to another human being, you gotta have humility. And that's what I base my life on. Treating somebody how I would want to be treated. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta be family, you ain't gotta be a friend. Like, everybody deserves respect. You shouldn't look down on the next person just because you feel like you have more than them. We still human.
Okay, I like that. So now I'm gonna ask. You want people to treat you how you want to be treated. Would you, if you was in a time of need and you need help, would you want someone to walk away on you, or would you want somebody who claims they care about you? Would you want them to help you get out of whatever suffering you're going through?
This is my thing. How I see that, you supposed to choose your circle very carefully. You see what I'm saying? So when you in need, and when people don't have too much pride, the crowd for help, you got people who's gonna help you because they know you. You in a bind right now. So, like, yeah, if you got loved ones around you and you end up getting into a bad situation and you need their help, yeah, you'll want to think like the people you have in your circle, the ones you consider family, will be the ones to be able to help you.
So do a person have to ask for help for you to help them, or if you see someone you love needs help, you would help them?
In certain situations, like, you got, like I said, when I said that whole pride thing, you got some people who they got too much pride to ask for their help, so they want to figure it out on their own. I'm not the type of person to go out my way for you if you can't come to me with love, like, hey, bro, I need help. If you able to help me, regular. I mean, like, depending on if it was like, well, it's not dependent. No matter what the situation is, it could be financially, it could be you need somebody to talk to, you need a ride, like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? If we got that type of love for each other like that, you should be able to come to me about anything. But you got some people, like I said, they got too much pride. They don't want to put themselves out there like that. And you got some people who can't take rejection well. So versus them hearing a no. You know, if they think they gonna get a no, they rather not just ask it out.
Okay, I could understand that. I guess the way me being, trying to be more and more like Jesus every day, even the people who I know and love, even people who I don't know, I love everybody. So if I see a person needs help, I want to try to help them as much. But every time I see them, I'm gonna continue to try to be a light in the darkness every single day, regardless of how they act. And you are the primary parent for your son, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And you have them every day?
Every day. She has visitation rights. Like, my son go to her every other weekend. Like, I just dropped him off today.
Every other weekend?
Yeah.
You think that's enough time for him to spend with his mom?
I think it's too much time.
Okay. Well, this is what I'm gonna ask you. Is she married already? Is she married now?
Nah, she's still single. Really, to be honest.
Okay.
She's still hoping on me.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, this is what I would tell you. And like I tell a lot of young people today, if you have a baby, it's best to just try to make it work with that woman. A lot of guys want to hear, women, they're difficult. They are, but I do think that people could change. And you can't change them right away, but love is showing patience. So although every female gonna have, because men and women are created completely different. So it doesn't matter how great a relationship is at the beginning. At the end of the day, a woman gonna be a woman as God created women to be women, and a man gonna be a man. We don't see things the same. The more time a man and a woman spend, the more possibilities of them bumping heads is going to happen. But to have your whole family and things with one woman, I think is an amazing thing, especially if you've been through some stuff. People look at things different. Now, I don't know, you and your baby mama's situation, but by you saying she's still hoping to be with you, are you married?
No, I'm single.
You single?
Yeah.
That's tough. So tell me this: do you want your son to be like me and you and have a baby out of wedlock, or you want him to? You having hope that he end up married first?
I'm having hopes of that. He definitely take a different path that I did. That he finds the one who he actually see himself putting the ring on, and then have a baby if that's what they choose to do. Like, enough of all this baby mama shit, baby daddy shit. Like, have a kid.
So you would like for him to be married? Okay.
Yeah.
But if you want him to be married, and you and your baby mama still single, why would that not be like something you consider like trying to make it? Just seeing, like, just see if she's matured at all. It's been 6 years. Maybe times have changed.
Times ain't changed because I'm still around it. Like, we have issues when it comes to her just even picking my son up. It's always an excuse. Like, she supposed to pay me child support, and it's the cheapest child support I ain't heard for anybody gotta pay. And I can't get that. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I don't, not what nobody else believes, but for me, I accept people for who they really are and who they're gonna be. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't sit there and be with somebody and hope they change. Like, I can't do that. Like, I did that when I was younger, and I felt like that's toxic. Being with somebody and you trying to help them become a better person. Like, we work on ourselves every day. You can't be trying to make yourself a better person and the next person a better person. Then what are they gonna do when they gonna make that walk for themselves? It's like you gonna walk for them.
Okay. So I do believe that people have to want to change. But tell me this, do you think that women need a man's leadership to be able to just function to their highest capability?
I think a woman needs her mother and other women mentors to become the highest of their ability. A man can't do that. A man can only be, your rock. You know what I'm saying? That solid form of love you need from a man. But a man can't help a woman get to her highest peak. Like she needs like that motherly love type love from other women who's on that path to guide her to that destiny right there.
All right, so let me ask you this. So you saying a woman needs women
hmm
to reach her maximum peak. So we're gonna still use your baby mama for instance. You don't think your baby mama is good to be your wife, correct?
No,
Is it because you don't think she knows how to treat a man?
it's because I know who she are. I know who she is. My baby mama is a person who does not accept accountability for nothing. Like she plays the victim for everything. Like that's who she is. That's who her family is. So it's like when you a person dealing with somebody, once you know who that person are truly, they true form, day in and day out, you have a decision to make within yourself. Do you want to fall back and protect your peace, or are you going to stay in it and hope that someday it will change? By then, shit, you have been to stress yourself to death waiting on that. When you could just fall back, patiently wait on somebody who's on the same page as you with everything, and y'all be more of a, stronghold for each other. Y'all be more of a match. Both of y'all already got life figured out. You already know how you want to treat the next person. You already know how you want to love the next person. You don't want to have to teach nobody that. Like, we're not young. We're not in high school. We grown. You saying you know exactly what it is you're doing. You know exactly what it is you want. The choice is just on you.
Okay. So do you think did she treat you how you feel like a man should be treated by a woman?
Yeah, when it came to sex. When it came to
Okay,
sex.
so other than that, she didn't treat you how a man should be treated. The reason why you're not married right now is because you haven't found a woman that treats you how you feel like a wife should treat you, right? You plan on getting married?
I'm not married. Let me answer what you just asked me right quick. I'm not married because I didn't want to be married. I was too busy and still living in those player days. You know what I'm saying? Like, my mindset with these hoes ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? We just gonna smash them and pass them. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't I wasn't marriage material. You know what I'm saying? That's why I really didn't want relationships like that. But me growing up now, yeah, that's something I would aim for if I came across the right woman.
What would determine that it's the right woman for you though? Is it her looks? Is it the way she treats you? Is it what is it? What would make you pull that trigger?
Looks get you in the door. This door right here. Looks will get you in the door. But your attitude,
right here. Okay.
Your attitude, your mentality, what you represent as a woman, that's what's gonna keep you here. Meaning marriage. Like, you can look good all day long.
So
you can look good all day long, but if you don't come in none of this up here, no brain, you ain't got no brains, no heart, Like I can't do nothing for you. You know, you just a shell. You know, like nah, I can't do nothing with that. It's deeper than looks. Like it's way deeper than just looks.
So you would want a woman that makes. Would the money matter to you when it comes to finding a wife? Do she has to make a lot of money, or
We
that's
don't
not important?
men don't marry women off their financial success. And I know a lot of people heard Kevin Samuels say that a lot, and that's true. Like I don't look for a woman and want to know what's her pockets like. But we do live in modern times, so yeah, I would want to know like, are you at least stable on your own, or are you looking for somebody to just come take care of you? But the money definitely is not the factor. You know, it's what it is she wants from herself and from a man. And if it's in reality, then yeah, I could go for that.
Okay, so but tell me this: do you think when a woman makes a lot of money, it changes the way she handles herself, the way she look at men, the way she talk to men? Just
Yeah, yeah.
you think it does?
It makes her real masculine.
So in that case, wouldn't you want a woman that's more poor and more needy compared to one who feels like she got everything going for herself?
I won't want no woman like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's good to be, you know, financially successful, but I don't want that to be who you are. That's not what's gonna make me fall in love with you. It could make me appreciate what you got going on for yourself, you know, as far as taking care of yourself. But that's not gonna be the key for me to want to fall in love with you.
Financially successful. What would be the numbers that you would consider financially successful?
Shit, you down there. Shit, you 6 figures or close to 6 figures.
Oh, you saying you want a woman that's financially successful?
No, I'm answering that question. Like to me, that's what would be like financially successful. Like other than that, you know, if you like 40, 50,000, like you just you down here with us regular folks.
Okay, me personally, I think $40,000-$50,000 for my wife is it's pushing. I mean, it depends. If she has to go into a workplace, then whatever job she has making that type of money, she's working a lot. The thing about financially successful women, they spend a lot of time on their work. They spend a lot of time working, a lot of dedication. Women can do the job men do as far as running a business, managing place. I've had plenty female managers. They'll be in there all day, all night, but that doesn't help their children at the end of the day. Spending all your time at work, neglecting your kids, sending your kids to daycare at a young age. I think women should be at home with their kids until pre-K. But the first 3 years is wise. There should be no one but mother or daddy watching them. It shouldn't be grandmas and aunties and uncles and all that. Should be mom or dad at all times at once until pre-K. Me personally, but when you have a woman who's financially successful and is dedicated to making money, a lot of times they love money, and having a kid, they're gonna love that kid. So when you're talking about the love of money already, then you talk about the love of the kid. I don't see how there's really gonna be room for you.
Well, I know for me though, like I said, I wouldn't even want no type of woman like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if a woman is in a career and I ask her how deep is it she in it, you know what I'm saying? If you like heavily into your career, then I wouldn't even like gamble myself with you. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not gonna ask you to pick between me or your career. And I know you said like you feel like a woman should be in her kid life up until pre-K. Me personally, just for me, I think it should go longer than that. You know what I'm saying? Because for me, I would actually want the mother of my kids being there for them every step of the way. I don't want no daycare doing that. You know what I'm saying? I want them to be able to come home to that mother and she's full fledged for them. Feel me?
Okay. Okay. No, I feel you on that because personally, I don't want my wife to work. You know, but like I told her, if she's gonna be spending like crazy, she's gonna have to get a job. But again, that's me not minding if my wife don't work. Meaning, I will take on the load of the financial. I would take on the financial load. You said you don't want a woman that has to lean on you for everything. But if you're saying you want a woman who's going to be at home all the step of the way with the kids, you do realize that means you're going to have to provide for her financially, which means she can't work.
Yeah,
so
but let's
you have to make a decision on what type of woman you want.
Before we go past that, I never said that I wanted a woman to not be able to lean on me. You know what I'm saying? I said that I wouldn't want no woman who's heavily into her career. Meaning, like, if she had to choose between me or her career, you know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't even want no woman like that. So if I had just a regular average woman who she make 30,000-40,000, you know what I'm saying? That's cool. I mean, I pay all the bills now, so
that's a lot of money.
I mean, yeah, to each your own, regardless how somebody might look at it. To me, that's not really a lot of money. To me. But how will your household work? You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't compare your household to somebody else. Whatever works for y'all, that's how you go about it.
Okay. I'm not gonna pull up, but I do think $40,000 a year for a woman, and you're saying you want her to be at home. I just don't see how that can work. How she can have a job making that type of money. That's like middle class America when you start talking 40, 50. So for her to make that type of money and be raising the kids, that's tough. Emotionally, that's tough on women. They need that father. They need help. They will need help. And they will have to lean on that man or whoever they have around. They have to lean on their help. Either they have to lean on the child's father, or they have to lean on auntie, grandma, mama to help raise the kid while she go to work.
Yeah, but that's why
you're saying you don't want a woman that's gonna be working.
What I'm saying is you go by what works best for y'all. Everybody gonna have their own situation. So whatever it is for y'all, you go about it like that. If I got a woman and she make 40,000-50,000, we got a kid, the only thing we can do is discuss how we gonna go about it. You know what I'm saying? Now, me personally, I would want her to be there with our kids full time. So if that required her, if she was with them, was like, okay, well, I quit my job, then I will do what I'm doing now, taking on responsibility, because I would want my wife to be there for our kids.
Well, that's a beautiful thing. As long as we understand that it's kind of one way or the other. But it's good that you're saying you'll be open to her not working. Because I think it's tough for a woman to have a job making that. She's probably doing something that requires a lot of work, and her trying to raise the kids and stuff, it'll be tough, especially being there all the time.
Yeah.
So this is what your son, and you say your son is 6, right?
Yeah.
So when do you think you'll probably be married?
To be honest, it's hard to answer questions like that these days. You know what I'm saying? It's like I say that because it's like, it's not all women, but it's kind of hard coming across a woman who's in tune with reality and not basing her mindset off, all this entitled shit and all this Megan Thee Stallion and all these hip hop rappers and shit, and basing what they think a man should be off what they saying. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of women who following a trend, and that ratio of women who got their own mindset and who's in tune with reality, is rare coming across them, in my opinion.
Do you think social media played a big impact on women now compared to when you was in high school?
I'm gonna say women not having, women not. How can I say this? Women not having, like I said earlier, women not having the right type of mothers in their life and mentors in their life. So they lean to something to guide them. So by social media putting out all this craziness, I'm gonna say more like women needed something to lean to, and social media was giving that. Do I feel like social media changed a lot of people? I mean, yeah and no. Because at the end of the day, accountability is still on yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, Future could talk about codeine all day. That don't mean that I gotta go do it. You feel me? So you make your own choice. So social media can corrupt corrupt your mind if you weak-minded.
Okay. So, do your son have a social media?
Nah.
What's the age limit? What's the minimum age you're gonna require for he can get on social media?
To be honest, I ain't even gave that part any thought. I wouldn't even know. I mean, I know kids got social media now his age. You know what I'm saying? So, to be honest, I don't even really have my son on social media. Like, I let him be a kid. The most he got for the internet is YouTube and the game.
Okay. So I'm gonna ask this. So you said, you can't give me an estimate on when you think you might be married.
Nah. To be honest, I don't think anybody can give that type of estimate. Not these days.
Well, men, I will say this: men who looking to get married, they get married pretty fast. They don't, and even your boy Kevin Samuels used to say that all the time. Remember, he meet a chick and be like, "Oh, I want a high value man," or somebody looking to get married, and he'll even tell them, "Oh, you think you gonna wait a year or two? He gonna get the hell on." Dude looking to get married in 6 months. So when you're saying a person can't give an estimate, I don't think that's true. You see, you're just not looking to get married. But a man who is looking to get married, it doesn't take long. He could give that estimate. Oh, it's gonna be a year. It doesn't take that long. Do you think it takes a long time to get to know a woman and know what type of woman she is?
See, look, with what you saying, that right there, it doesn't tie into asking somebody when do they think they would get married. Those are two totally different things. The way how you just said it sounds more like if you're in a relationship with somebody and you want to know how long would it take for you to marry that woman. That's something totally different. When you're single as a man, I don't think anybody can give an estimate saying they know at this certain time they're going to be married. Not in these days.
Yeah, I heard you when you said that, and I'm just simply disagreeing by saying I do think a man that wants to be married can give you an estimate because he don't think it would be that long. Because most men, you gotta think about, like even you dated a lot of girls, you met a lot of girls. So when you actually have it in your mind you want to be married, there's not going to be any lack of confidence that you're not going to be able to find a wife. Like you're not gonna lack the confidence because you already got the confidence that you can get a chick. But when you're not looking to be married, you can't give a time because you just don't know. And you're not. You have to be willing. I think the biggest thing is you have to be willing to be married because me and my wife, we only knew each other for 3 weeks prior to being married, and we spent a good 7-8 months bumping heads, arguing and things like that. Because like I told you earlier, men and women are created completely different. But the moment a woman she has a husband, she look at that as a person she can rely on, a person that's gonna be there for her. So it's gonna take time to change them and fix them up, because a lot of women wasn't raised around men. And what you said earlier is a woman needs a woman to reach her peak. But the reality of it is, I think a woman needs to see a man in their house so she know how a woman's supposed to treat a man and how a man's supposed to treat a woman. So when you look and you see 75% of homes don't have a man in them, girls are being raised and they don't know how to treat a man. Because guess what? If I'm a woman, I'm not gonna just have any man around my daughter. Every dude I'm dating, he's not gonna come around my daughter. So now you have your daughter that never actually see you around a man. So she don't know how to treat a man. And the thing is, women are being raised to be wives. And even the fathers, we're guilty of it. Because men aren't raising their daughters to be a wife. They're raising their daughters to not need a man. So now when the woman get all that confidence and she ambitious and all these things, the last thing she think about is man. She like, I don't need no dude. If I do need a dude, I'll call my daddy, I'll call my brother. So now there's no room for a man because her ego is too big and things of that nature. And a lot of times that comes from them not having a man to show them the way, or there being a man there, but still neglecting the fact that, hey, when your daughter gets older, you do realize a man isn't going to want to marry a woman that acts like a man. And that is what I think is one of the biggest problems. Women are being raised not to need men, so it's not even their fault necessarily, but they're being raised to not need a man, and that's exactly why men aren't happy. So all of us men want a submissive woman, but the truth is, the same men who say they want a submissive woman, they're not raising their daughters to be submissive. So when your daughter gets older, guess what? When men looking for a wife, your daughter not the one. Why? Because she's not what men are looking for. Men want a submissive woman, and these girls are being taught to be independent, to not need a man, to argue her man, to fight with him, to challenge him, and these type of things. So I do think for a woman to reach her, to really be like on the peak level to where a man would want to marry her in 3 weeks to 6 months, the willingness to submit is the biggest thing that would make a man pull that trigger in 3 weeks, pull that trigger in 4, 5, 6 weeks.
I'm gonna say this. We gotta back up to it, cause it was like a couple of things you said I highly don't agree with. Can't no man teach a woman how to reach her peak. That's like you saying you'll be able to teach your daughter how to be a real woman. You can't do that. You're a man. That takes a woman to do that. The only thing you could probably do for a woman, you're going to teach her how to love you the way you want to be loved. But for her to reach her peak as a woman, she needs another woman for that. You as a man, me as a man, we could never do that for women. Just like they can't teach us how to be a man at our full potential. You need a father for that, a father figure, a role model for that, who's another man. Do you think right now, like, cause you got kids, right?
I have a daughter and I got one in 3 more weeks.
Okay. Can you honestly say that you think that you could raise your daughter to be a better woman than the mother could?
This is what I'm gonna say. You're speaking from a standpoint that there has to be only one person raising the child.
No. Not raising the child.
This is what when you're saying, I think I can teach my daughter to be a woman. I never said that. What I'm saying is, I said I think there needs to be a man in the home. Therefore, the father could teach the daughter how a man's supposed to treat a woman. And the mother could teach the daughter how a woman's supposed to treat a man. Kids learn these things by example. You can say what you want to say. So when I ask you, like, when do you plan on being married? I'm looking at it in the sense that your son is 6. what type of man do you want him to become? Because right now, he's more than likely going to be a player because that's what his daddy is. And if you don't have a wife, how can you show him how to treat a woman? He's going to be just like me and you, running through women, not caring about them.
Because before we speed past that, I don't agree with that. And the reason why I say that, because you could teach your kid on what to look for in a woman. You know what I'm saying? That don't necessarily mean they'll pick up the habits of what the parents doing, because for my son to see me doing what I'm doing, that means I have to be bringing in women constantly to the house over and over and over and over. And that's not what's going on. I barely bring women here, especially when my kid is here. So as my son growing up, I could teach him how to be a man and teach him what type of woman he should want. You know what I'm saying? That's the key part right there. That don't necessarily mean like, you know, them kids just gonna pick up the habits of you. They pick up the habits of you if you're not teaching them, if you're not guiding them in the right direction.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, but the truth of the matter is children do look at their parents as their role model, especially a son to a father.
Facts.
He's going to look, you could say all day, son, don't smoke, but keep lighting up in front of him. Guess what? More than likely, he's going to smoke.
That's the point. That's the point I just made. If you're doing it in front of them, that's what they gonna pick up. So going back to what you said, like your son will become a player. That's only if I was showing those attributes in front of him. You know what I'm saying? I have to be bringing in different women. He's meeting different women on the regular, and he's seeing how his daddy moves. My son don't see that. You know what I'm saying? So as he get older, I will be able to guide him into what type of woman he really needs. You know what I'm saying? Versus I didn't have that growing up. I was more on the player side of learning things. I didn't have nobody to teach me things. You know what I'm saying? So, in my opinion, I just don't feel like your kid will pick up on stuff you're doing if you're not doing that around them. You're not showing them that that's who you are.
Okay, so you don't think leading by example is very important to the children?
I just said that. That's what I just said. That's the whole point I'm making.
Well, it's not like you're telling me that you can just tell him what to do. Now, I know I was a kid before, and as I was becoming a man, everything my dad said, I didn't listen to it, especially if he told me to do things that was contrary to the things he was actually doing. So, you know, kids could spot out a hypocrite too. So at the end of the day, we could say all day, don't do this, this is the type of woman you want. But if he don't see you, you can't tell him the type of woman he should look for, because he don't even know if that type of woman exists. The only way he know that woman exists is because he's around that woman. And right now you're saying the mother, she's not married, so she's not showing him how a woman should treat a man. You're not married, so you're not showing him how a woman should treat a man either. Like, he's not seeing that or getting that. And you telling him how a woman's supposed to treat him, I just don't see how he's gonna even look at that like it's a real thing. Because if you tell him a woman's supposed to be submissive, bro, once he 18, 19, the chances of him finding that, it's not happening. It's getting slammer and slammer. So that's what I'm saying. If my daughters, they're gonna see how I'm treating my wife, and they're gonna know this is how you're supposed to treat a woman. Again, I can't teach my daughters how a man is supposed to treat a woman by how I raised them. All I can show them is how a father is supposed to treat a daughter. Because the way I treat them is not the way their husband is going to treat them. And I think that's one of the biggest issues. A lot of women get married, and I'll say right now, my wife is guilty of it. Plenty of times she said, you know, she was expecting me to like take her daddy place. And it took about 6 months of argument before it got to the point where I said, well, you need to understand, you're not my daughter. And you don't act like your mama. Her mother is submissive. She's a new age feminist, so you know it's not just, hey, ain't no submissive nothing. They gotta have their voice, they gotta be powerful, they gotta be equal. So when you look at how it is and how women are now, the chances that your son is going to find what men want, which is a submissive woman, is very, very slim. And he's not even going to know it's real because daddy haven't actually showed me one. He's only told me about it.
Yeah, that's true. But that one thing about with a lot of stuff in life, you know, kids, you know, we had to do it. You know, all of us got to take that own walk for ourselves. And you have to, I'm not saying figure it out, but for you to gain experience and gain the knowledge of a lot of stuff about life, you just gonna have to go through it. Like, we could teach them everything. They could see everything, but they still have to make that walk and be able to, you know, get that registered to that in their mindset on how to be as a man, how to be as a woman. You know, like me and you, we didn't have this mindset yesterday. It took time of going through a lot of stuff to get the mindset we have. You see what I'm saying?
That's absolutely true. But again, my father, I mean, he was around, but my father was doing his thing. You know, I wasn't around him that much, but I knew him. And luckily for me, even though, you know, my dad was a big time player, he was a drug dealer and things of that nature, I did pick up being a player from him. Because unlike you don't have that around your kid. My dad definitely, every time I went over his house, he had a new girlfriend. He'd go up shout house. And me and my brother used to sneak and watch porn at very young ages, which I think that also contributed to us wanting, just creating a sexual drive very early and made us want women very, very young. And I think that affected us because my teachers always said I was smart, but my focus was never on school. I wanted to go to school only because girls were there. I didn't want to go to school to have good grades or any of that. I just wanted to see women. So at a very young age, my father's example led me to just want to be with women. You think my daddy ever told me don't have kids out of wedlock? Absolutely not. He never told me that. He never told me to have kids out of wedlock. It's not something he told me. But guess what? I seen him do it. He wasn't married. He had 4 or 5 kids out of wedlock. How can you come to me and be a hypocrite and say, hey man, don't have kids out of wedlock? Because you didn't change anything. You're still not married, so you can't preach marriage to me because you ain't married. Now me, I had a child out of wedlock and I learned from him. So now I said, okay, I realized the expectations that a woman put on a man once she's pregnant. And I realized that a lot of times, a lot of things they say and do, they really didn't mean it. And I think as men, we let them stress us out so much where we walk away so bad. I mean, and it'd be hard. My baby mama took me, you know, taking my kid from me, all these type of things. And me, I wasn't a man of God then, so I didn't understand it. See, now I understand it's a spiritual battle. She really didn't even mean all the stuff she was doing to me. But guess what? At that time, all I looked at and seen, you are an evil woman. You took my kid from me. I'm pissed off. And I hated her. I was super bitter about it. And that's one of them things, like, it wasn't no coming back for me. That was one of the things I felt like it wasn't no coming back. Once you take your kid from me, my kid to me was like the first thing I ever like had this. It was a different feeling. Like, it was a little girl too. And 6 weeks into it, she take my kid and stuff like that. Oh, I was pissed. You know, I was super pissed. And it kind of ran me away from her. Because I didn't understand that it's spiritual. But like I said, at the time, I had my own spiritual problems too. Because even when I had the kid, you got to think about it. I wanted a kid. She wanted, like, me and her actually had this discussion, have a kid. I wanted a kid. She wanted a kid. We had the kid. She wanted a kid. She wanted to be a certain way. And before I even got a chance to make any calls on anything, it was either her way or she took the kid. So now when I look at it, I actually have a situation where I can tell men, hey, it's better to get married. Why? Because I am married. And I can tell them, look, I made the mistake before this is the worst mistake I think any black man can make, having a child out of wedlock. I think kids need to be at home with the mothers and the father. I think kids need that. I think it's very, very, very important. You know, I don't think women should be raising kids with all women. Because here's the biggest thing in the black community, what a lot of people don't realize. Once a woman is raising a child by herself, once the kid get in pre-K, elementary school, guess who's teaching these kids? Nothing but women. When they go on the daycare, women. It's all women. So at the end of the day, your kids really don't see the example of how a man's supposed to treat a woman. Because at the home, it's just a woman, and they're never really seeing, because when they go to school, you're not seeing, it's not like the male teacher and the female teacher in there, hey, open the doors for you, let me wipe this off for you. Like, none of that's happening. The females are the majority of teachers, and our kids are being raised around just a bunch of women. So I think it's very important that we have a man and a woman at home to be an example for our children.
Yeah, most definitely that.
And even if some of the things you want in a woman, what I'm saying is you might not find, but I do think you can change them. Because again, like, I believe that a woman look for a man's leadership. And I do think men can change. I mean, I changed. You know, it was by the help of God that I did change. But I do think that women change. Like I said, me and my wife, we was bumping heads first 7 months, damn near every day. And guess what? We stuck with it. And now we're happy. You know, we're really happy. Like I said, me and her only knew each other for 3 weeks.
But let me ask you something though. Because when you say a lot of people change, and I hear a lot of men, and mainly a lot of women, you know, they left they do because they wouldn't change no matter what they did. So in your situation, it seemed like the change came from something what wasn't really toxic. You know what I'm saying? When we speaking about change, we talking about something like what somebody has toxic about them. You can't change that from a person. They gotta want to change that for themselves. We ain't talking about y'all have a disagreement about, you know, who going where or this or that. You know, if it ain't to the point that it's a deal breaker, then yeah, anybody could work through that. I mean, you should anyway. Because if not, that means you'll be looking for something perfect. But those toxic things right there, nah, that's too much energy to sit there trying to change somebody from that.
Well, I think it depends on what the person or what they would consider toxic. Because, you know, to me, before I was married, even arguing with a woman was toxic to me. And it's plenty of girls who I was talking to, the first argument, I'm like, I'm through. Well, I'm not, like, to me that was a sign of craziness. So I would leave them alone after one argument. Because to me, that showed signs that they were toxic. So when I had my child, you know, I didn't want to marry my baby mama. Of course, she felt like I'm a player and I'm probably going to be dogging her out. And she started making decisions, but in her eyes, I was toxic because I didn't want to marry her. So it's like, oh, you done got me pregnant, but you don't want to marry me. So in her eyes, that proved to her that I might be on some toxic stuff. You know, so again, everybody's opinion is toxic, and when no one stands on any solid foundation, it's all based on people's opinions and how they feel about things. And like I said, me becoming a man of God, I stand on the foundations of God. So nothing changes. It's always the same thing. I go by that standard, that foundation. It's not about how I feel. It's not about nothing that happens, period. I stand on the same, and she understands what foundation I stand on. And I think if we expect women to come and want to be with us and submit to us when they don't even have an understanding of your next move, because all your moves is based on what you think is right, what you think is the best move, what you think, and whatever foundation you have created in your own head. Because it's not like you're going to make a layout and write it all down so she understands, okay, well, more than likely he's going to do this or he's going to do that. my wife know what I'm gonna say. She be knowing what I'm gonna say about certain things and how I feel about things before I even have to talk to her, because she know me and she know what I stand on. And there's no me. I gave myself up. It's not about me anymore. And that's something my wife can trust. That's something she can lean on. And that's why, even though she's 8 years younger than me, she's Dominican, head full of hair, I wasn't good enough for her. Fat, bald head, got a kid. I had just had a kid out of wedlock. Why would this she was 24 at the time, why would this 24-year-old get with this 32-year-old kid out of wedlock, bald head, fat? The only thing that made me valuable to her was that I stood on some foundations that she can trust, and that was the word of God. So when I ask you, what do you expect a woman, because you said all the things you want out of a woman, but what about what the woman would want from a man? Because women want a lot. It doesn't seem like you're willing to commit or submit or make a lot of sacrifices to please a woman. Because boy, it's a lot of sacrifices.
I'm gonna say this. That saying that right there is very incorrect about me. I don't even know how you will pick up that I wouldn't make sacrifices, because really, when it comes to relationships, to me, it's not really a lot of sacrifices. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to a relationship, it's about the better good of y'all two. And you eliminate stuff what can be toxic, what is toxic, stuff what could hurt you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't necessary no sacrifices. You know what I'm saying? Especially if y'all in tune with what y'all want from each other. Sacrifices would be more like on some, oh, all right, I'm not gonna hang out with the boys every day, or I'm not gonna go to the club every day. That's becoming more in tune with your relationship. You're not really single no more, so you giving the little petty stuff up. You know what I'm saying? But relationships, that's based off, whatever it is y'all want from each other. Like for you and your woman, it was probably that right there, the spiritual part. For somebody else, it might not be that, but it would still be just as strong. Everybody has their own thing to what works for them. Everybody have their own love language.
I believe that is true. And that's the reason why I said, you want things one way. And if you're dating somebody who has no foundation either, she's going to want things another way. So when you run into that situation, somebody has to make the sacrifices. So when
somebody have to back away from it. You don't change nobody for what they believe in. If a woman or a man already have their beliefs on how things should be, it's on you to decide if you want to step into that or if you want to back away from that. If a woman tell me right now, you got to be cool with me dressing however I want to dress, I'm not going to try to change her from that. We too old for that. You know what I'm saying? So I would just back away from that, because I don't want a woman who would dress any kind of way. I would want a woman already established enough to know that you don't dress any kind of way, especially when you're in a relationship. You're supposed to represent your man and look grown and sexy, not giving the world something to peek at you about. Your body parts, you open your legs, ass all day. Like, don't no real man want that. So I wouldn't try to change a woman from that if that's who she was.
Well, I do think both women and men have to make a lot of sacrifices in a marriage, and they both have to be willing to make a marriage work. Because again, a marriage. Well, I don't believe in divorce. Again, I stand on the word of God, so I don't believe in divorce. So, like I told my wife, even if my wife was to cheat on me, I wouldn't divorce her. So I would never cheat on my wife because I fear the Lord. So it's just not happening. But even if she ever cheated on me, I wouldn't leave her. I wouldn't leave her. I would let her figure it out, whatever. But I'm not leaving her because I know the Lord don't believe in divorce. He's not a fan of it, and I care about pleasing Him more than anything.
But what about
And,
adultery?
I mean, again, she has to stand in their judgment with the Lord. So I will, it is what it is. I'm gonna look at her, I'll be upset about it, talk to her, whatever. And if she wanna leave, then, I have no choice but to allow her to leave. But if she was to cheat on me and come and be like, honey, I'm sorry, I have to forgive her. As a man of God, we betray God all the time by sinning and turning away from Him and chasing our own dreams and what we feel like is right. And if my wife decided she wanted to go out and try that and came back, I'm sorry, I would accept her. I would accept her apology. I would forgive her just as God told me to. Because we're all humans. We all make mistakes. A lot of us are raised and we don't know no better. We fall into traps of thinking, okay, this would be the best decision. This is what I want to do. Letting emotions control and dictate decisions they make. And with me having an understanding that, the world has a lot of temptation out here. We all make mistakes. It is what it is. But I would forgive her or anyone who apologizes to me for anything they did to me. Because
Wait, hold on. I wouldn't, me personally, that's not a it is what it is type of moment. Like, especially in a woman case, because a lot of times when women cheat, that man kind of had to have you emotionally. So for me, that most definitely wouldn't be no it is what it is. That's something serious. And then we spoke on, leading by example for your kids. That means that message to your kids would be, it's okay to mess up something real big. Just forgive that person and leave it in God's hands. That could scar somebody in a very dangerous way. That wouldn't be no is what it is type of moment. Not that right there. Oh,
I mean, it could scar. I mean, again, I would be hurt if I found out my wife cheated on me. I would be hurt, but the thing about it is, I don't put the pressure on my wife to be the one to make me happy. The Lord makes me happy, and I find my happiness within God. So my wife is part of my life, and most of all my happy moments are enjoyed with her. But if she was to decide to do something again, I would be upset about it. But in the totality, I would still be happy. And I would still be happy because I'm a happy person. So if she came to me apologizing, like I said, I would forgive her. But if she came to me saying she want out of the divorce, I'm still not even going to give her a divorce, to be honest. She's going to have to go through whatever long route, lawyers trying to find me to give me the papers. It's going to be the longest, hardest time for her. And by that time, whatever dude she messing with might be like, he don't want her no more. Or if he do still want her, then if she go through that long process to leave me, then boom, she out. Ain't nothing I can do about that. But I'm not going to leave her because of a decision or mistake she made. So that's just my belief as being a man of God. And looking at it from this angle, it sounds crazy, but at the end of the day, it's like I don't find my happiness in a human being. I think a lot of women expect a man to come and make them happy. Like I said, just like my wife, she's expecting me to be like her dad. I was just gonna be all sweet, lovey-dovey, give her everything she want. But that's not what a husband does. A father, I spoil my baby girls. They're gonna be spoiled rotten. Whatever they ask me for, it's a good chance they might get it. Honestly, whatever my wife asked me for, she get it. I complain about it because I don't like spending money like that. Because the more money I spend, the more I gotta work. Now the more overtime I gotta pick up, the more. So every time I think about my wife spending money, all I think about is how I gotta work harder. And I don't really want to go to work working hard. I'd rather it be nice and easy. So when I go home, I can spend it with the kids, have fun, spend it with my wife. So my wife can have whatever she wants. My daughter's gonna be able to have whatever she wants. But I'm not like her father. Like that relationship, it's not the same. And again, I would forgive her. So,
Hey, hold on. Hey, real quick, can I respond to two of the comments? What's in the section?
yeah.
All right.
I ain't see no comments. I ain't looking at it.
Yeah, it's one lady said something about when we was talking about, like, when we spoke on how they dress or something. I know she responded. She might not know how. When we're grown, you know what it is you're doing. You don't gotta have somebody teach you certain stuff. Like maybe somebody showing you how to love properly. Yeah, but the way we dress, you know exactly what it is you're doing. The actions you choose to take, you know exactly what it is you want to do. So there's no excuses for that at all. You know, and I feel like us people, we give people too much leeway with excuses, and we're stripping accountability away from people. And you can't do that. You can't do that at all. And then with my friend, she's watching the show. She said, that's your spiritual belief. You know, you won't understand that if you're not spiritually connected. And I feel that on a spiritual level, for us the cheating thing we were speaking of. But I'm looking at for us what that's gonna do for the person, what problems that's gonna create. You ain't brought, if we speaking being spiritually, you have brought a different type of energy into y'all household. That right there holds a lot of energy. That holds a different type of spirit. Those are three spirits. You, your wife, and whoever she did something with. So no, that would, for me, no, that would not be acceptable. Because then I gotta look at, is I'm gonna put a lot of burden on me or her? Is I'm gonna be in a relationship where it's like it's not trustworthy? I feel like that will really create problems versus it turning out to be more of a positive. Just my opinion. And those just for the comments. Yeah, that's not for you. That was just for the comments.
Well, I mean, I understand, like a typical man would look at it the way you look at it. If a man hear his wife, hell, a man can go on his phone and see his girl texting another dude even before anything sexual happened, and he's ready to get out of the marriage. You know, he's ready to cancel it. He out. He don't want no parts of it. But again, when you stand on the foundations of God, you give your life to God to the point where the things that happen on earth doesn't even matter anymore. We're looking for better days and to be with God after this life. And that's the reason why I say what happens if my wife was to go cheat, that made her happy. Because I'm sure you got people that'll sit here and be like, oh yeah, I want my wife to be happy. I want my husband to be happy. Okay, well, if what makes your husband happy is going to sleep with another woman, you would be against that. So it's not just about what makes your husband happy. It's about you still expecting your husband to make those sacrifices, just as a woman, just as a man would expect his wife, regardless of how sexy she thinks some man is, he don't expect her to have sex with another man. So those are sacrifices us as human beings we have to give up. So we get back to, like I was telling you, like, you have to make sacrifices because men love women. Especially in Atlanta, the way women dress, they so naked and things like that. Of course, the temptation don't get a man. But guess what? When he says, nah, I'm good, I'm married, that's a sacrifice. Because he could have took the other route, which a lot of men do. And that's trying to make a move and get her for the night. And a lot of men don't even try to get her for the night. They continue to text and talk to her for a whole year and a half. End up creating a whole family with her. So you know, it's, I don't get my happiness, the foundation of my happiness don't come from another human being. But every human being is part of my life. And like I said, I've just changed my life to the point where helping other people and seeing other people happy is what makes me happy. Because I know it's what made God happy. And I think that's what most people are missing, to be honest. To give up themselves and to love everyone as you love yourself, and have it not just being about you, that would make the world a better place. when people live in a life where it's not all about them. And that's how most people look at life. It's all about them, how they feel, what they want. And that's just not the way things should be.
And I feel that, but at the same time I also feel that God pull you out of situations was not meant for you. So you might look at it as I'ma still be happy, but then what is it for when God is really trying to pull you out of situation was not meant for you? You don't think that will kind of contradict each other?
Well, the reason why I don't think it will contradict each other is because I believe that with prayer, all things are possible. So even if I had an adulterous wife, I could pray on it. And like I said, the Bible tells me that if she wants to leave, then let her leave. But if she don't, and she wants to be forgiven, then I forgive her. Like I said, I'll let her go through the long process. If she go through that whole long process of divorcing me and it's finalized, then that's what it is. That's what God wanted. But God don't like divorce. So I don't believe that's what he would do. I believe with prayer, he would even change an adulterous woman. Because I know men say all the time, whore, can't be a housewife or something like that. But I don't think that's true. I think women change. I think men change. But I think it's God that changed them because it's a spiritual battle. And only the Holy Spirit, I believe, will truly change people. Because I was out here having sex with women. I wasn't married. I ain't had to care about them or anything like that. And it was, I didn't look at it like I was a bad person. But the truth is, I probably broke a lot of hearts. So you probably look at yourself as a good dude, good person, but I'm pretty sure you probably broke a lot of hearts. You're 34 now. I'm pretty sure you probably broke a lot of hearts, and these women probably hate you. So
Yeah.
You'll say you're a good person, but if I ask them, they'll say you're a piece of crap.
Yeah, but the thing, the difference within that though, a woman wouldn't be able to judge me from back then because I took accountability for that. I said I was in a whole different mindset. But a woman asking that now towards me, like, I don't lie to women. I don't try to deceive them just to get sex from them. I tell you what it is and what it's not. You know what I'm saying? So what made me a better person, and I'm not too deeply involved with religion, God like you are, but at the same time, a lot of experience changed me. What I feel like made me a better man what I am today. You feel me? I'm not perfect, but I damn sure know that I'm above average.
And you say you're not dating right now?
No, not right now.
Girl, do you believe there's good women out there?
Yeah, I don't believe all women full of shit. I believe there's some good women out there. It's just, now that part, the sacrifice, I will bring that part up. I feel like it's what you're willing to deal with from a person, what comes along with them. You might find a good woman and she have 2 kids, 2 different baby daddies. I mean, you can. She might have 3 kids, but it's on you if you're willing to accept that from her or not.
Would you accept a woman with 3 kids, 3 different baby daddies?
Me personally,
Would
no.
you marry her?
Me personally, no.
Do you know any guy that would marry her?
It could be.
I said, do you know any?
No. Not
so why
for
would you be
I know.
spewing something like this? I personally do think even a woman with 3 kids, 3 different baby daddies could still find a husband.
Yeah.
But again, it comes down to if they're willing to submit. Because trust me, if a man has a fine lady here, headstrong, don't listen, can't tell her nothing. Then he has this nice, sweet woman over here with 3 kids, but she's very submissive, cooks for him, very nice to him all the time, even though she know he be out messing around and stuff. She don't argue with him. She don't do anything. She just extremely nice all the time to him. I do think that man, if he had to make a decision, he would run with that person he feels like make him happy more than the one who looks better and got some money. So I don't think it's never too late for any woman, but it's all about how much are you willing to submit, because that's the biggest value any woman can have. I mean, looks are important, but like I said, even if a woman look good, if she just has zero level of willing to submit, a man will still be like, bro, I'm out. And even though the divorce rates are high with the women's initiating divorce, the truth of the matter is, men pretty much make that call before a woman go down there. Because a man don't go down there because he gonna lose money and stuff like that. So it ain't the men going down there, but mentally they already out. They going to mess around with other women. They stop coming home. They start doing these type of things. So really, it's a man that made that decision, because a lot of women don't want to submit. So they already make the decision that I'm kind of out of this marriage. I'm just not going to go down there and do the work to get out of the marriage. But men definitely initiate this because women unwillingness to submit. So I think if you met a woman with that was just super duper nice, whatever, and had 3 kids, and they didn't actually alter the way she treats you, because men want to be cherished and we want to be treated special. We want a woman to treat us like we're important. We want to feel important. We want to feel love. We want to feel the support in these things. And if a woman with 3 kids can manage to still do that, I don't think a man will hold it against her. I mean, you got some that will, but I think there's a lot that really look at the good and say, I'll take them 3 kids. You know, I don't know none that did it, but I do think if a woman's submissive enough, I think a man would.
I think it's way deeper than just a woman being submissive. Like, a man wants, same way how a woman would want, a person who could comprehend well. They communication skills are good. They values in life. How they treat other people, their attitude. Like, it's way more than just being submissive, in my opinion.
So do you not think women, could you marry a woman that walk around dressed, like a stripper? Is that something you can look at as a wifey material?
Yeah, I couldn't wife nobody who dressed, provocative for everybody to see. That wouldn't be my thing right there.
But do you not think that just because you see a woman and she's dressed like that, there's a possibility that you could change her?
I wouldn't change her. We too grown to be trying to change people. I wouldn't change nobody about them. That's like somebody coming to you and trying to change you from believing in God. You believe in what you believe in. Can't nobody change that from you, no matter how hard they was trying. Like, that's what you stand on. So somebody will be wasting their time trying to change you from that. So that's with anybody. If a person mind is made up to how they want to be, how they want to act, how they want to listen, you got to accept them for who they are. You going to be wasting time trying to change somebody, that's going to drain you. I feel like that would do way more damage to you than it would good. It's a lot of women. It's a woman on here right now, girl I'm cool with. Left a dude because, an issue he had. And she had a choice to make. Nobody's not too many people finna try to change somebody. Especially when you come to terms that this is who they are.
I mean, you said yourself you have changed. I'm pretty sure you probably seen some people experience some things, talked to some people, and it played a role in you changing. I definitely think that with the right leadership, any woman would be willing to change. Especially if she have a man she really like there's absolutely no way she's not going to be willing to change for that man. If that man says, look, I don't want you dressing like that no more out in public. If she wants to be with him, I don't see how she would be like, okay, well, how you want me to dress? I can't see that being something that a woman who actually like you would decide that I'm a choose dressing like this over you. Like I don't see that being a thing. So I definitely think that they change. I mean, I think women change anyway. When they're younger, they dress a little crazy. When they get a little older, some of them they start putting on more clothes. So it's not a matter of I don't feel like, because again, if we just look at somebody how they dressing today, assuming they won't change, you know, plenty of women in your past will probably think you're the exact same say you was 5, 6, 7, 8. Whenever they talk to you, they would say the same thing. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of women who I used to talk to would probably swear, oh, he ain't never be married, he ain't never be no faithful, he would never believe in God. I ain't believe in God until I was like 27. So they would have said all these things about me, but if they met me today, they'd be like, oh wow, this man is a completely different person. So again, I do think people can change, and I think they will change, but it's all about the right leadership. You know, even you know, I feel like if you met a woman who she looked good, you know, she just had everything going, and you were just so attracted to her, and she said, well, 10K, I want you to go to church with me. I don't think you'll say no. I don't think you would allow that to be a deal breaker. You'll be like, all right, I'll go to church with you. Even though you don't believe, you'll go. And get what?
No, I won't.
Go next time. You go again.
I won't.
You would let that be a deal breaker?
No, it's not about being a deal breaker. And I heard you say, you was like, when you said something about that, I changed. But what made me change was me. You know, nothing. Nobody else had, you know, any influences on that. You know, it was me have to reevaluate myself, looking at the harm I was doing to myself, the pain I was causing people, and I had to make a change for the better good of myself. You see what I'm saying? Especially when I found that I had a son. You know, that gave me purpose. You know what I'm saying? So I had to make those steps for myself, and only me alone could make those steps for myself. You know what I'm saying? And that's, to me, in my opinion, that's just with the whole world. You know what I'm saying? You could be with a lot of people trying to help them the best you can, but at the same time, who's going to really mentally drain themselves for somebody else who don't want to make those steps? That would just be way too much. If I told somebody I'm not a church going person, that's just not me, and you get with me and trying to make me be a church going person, I feel like that's why women are in the predicament they are in now, by being a lot of single mothers trying to change somebody who didn't want to be changed, being stuck in a fairy tale. That's really why a lot of women are single with all these kids, having hopes of thinking they would be able to change somebody, and they couldn't. It was just letdowns versus accepting somebody for who they really was.
Well, that's what you assuming every man just show bad signs even before she got pregnant. You know, some men actually do, you know, act like they're good men and care about the girl and all this type of stuff.
They do.
And once she get pregnant, it don't work out. You know, so. But to me, a reason why a lot of these homes are fatherless is because people are not willing to sacrifice. That's what it come down to. Like I said, I feel like once you have a kid, it's like it's just bigger than you. Because what's best for the child is that the mother and the father is in the house. Because who's going to love and take care of the kid more than the mother and the daddy? So it's just best that those two are in the home. And if you have differences and stuff at the beginning, it's like y'all got to get through it. And you can sit here and say, you know, people say all day like, oh, he ain't gonna change and she ain't gonna change. But the truth is, these same people, 3, 4, 5 years later, end up being with somebody else and be willing to change. And it took time. It don't necessarily be the person. It just took time for people to grow and mature and understand things like that. So,
well, hold on before you speak past that. I just want to start the contradiction part, because you said it's not necessarily the person doing it. It takes time for them to grow and mature, that means that is the person doing that. That's them taking the steps. That means you're putting the accountability on that person, like I'm saying.
Yeah, no, the accountability of having a child for sure goes on both adults. What I'm saying is, regardless of what happens, they should fight to make it work because they have a child, and what is in the best interest for the child is that mom and dad is in the house. So
That right there create more broken homes. That create more broken homes.
I mean,
I hear this way more from
believe in create more breaking homes.
I hear this way more from women than I do men. I hear this way more from women than I do men. Women have always said that I tried to make it work for the sake of our kids. And it caused it more damage to the woman than it did good. I hear that from a lot of women. They tried to make it work for the kids' sake.
But here's the reason why they feel like it was a waste. They feel like it was a waste because they tried and they gave up. If you didn't try with the intentions to go all the way, you're gonna waste your time. If I start something, if I start building a house and then I decide halfway through I don't want to build a house no more, yeah, I wasted my time. But my intention was to build a house. So as I was doing it, I wasn't looking at it like I was wasting my time. So when women do decide like I'm going to make it work, they have to have an understanding of how men are. Men are, especially at a young age, they are dogs. They are this, they are that. But trust me, I truly believe that any woman that continues to just sincerely be nice and sweet to this man, knowing he ain't crap, but you still treat him good, bro, it's in a man's heart that we ain't gonna help it but to feel bad, bro. We ain't gonna be able to help it but to start feeling bad for how we treating this woman. Like, men are dogs, but trust me, it's only but so much they can do before they start feeling bad. And like I said, a woman will leave her first baby daddy and go out there and think she's gonna find another man who's not gonna do the same thing. And then he end up doing the same thing. She leave him, get with another one, have a baby, and then she finally decide, okay, this is just how men are. Well, I think people should accept that the first time. Accept this is just how men are and continue to work. And again, men should be feeling the same way. If your baby mama crazy and this and that, guess what? You gotta work with it, because like I said, what's in best interest for the child is that mother and that daddy is in the house. So that's the issue that really need to be touched in the black community, because we don't have fathers in these homes. The majority of them don't. And that's how we end up in jail. That's how we ended up, that's why we broke and not going to school and no discipline and all these type of things, bro. We need fathers in the homes.
We do,
but
true enough. But
gotta be willing to sacrifice.
True enough, but not at the expense of somebody gotta damage themselves just to make something work for the kid. There's not too many women or too many men who's gonna do that at all. You know, you gotta think, bro. You got a lot of women who's been in abusive relationships, been in relationships with guys who was molesting their own kid. And you telling women that you gotta fight through that? No, women gonna get the hell on because that's for the best interest of the kid. You got women who are with guys who's being abusive. You know what I'm saying? Women supposed to fight through that? Hell no, you get the hell on. At the end of the day, you gotta protect yourself.
Well, you just brought up a situation. If I'm saying do what's best for the child, of course we know if somebody is molesting the child, what's best for the child is not that person is around the child. So don't put that on me, because that's not what I said. But
no, what I'm saying is I'm saying it in a sense where you telling people you have to make it work for the kid's sake. But that right there, when you put that message out there, bro, it can be interpreted different if they not getting into details of what you mean. So I put that out there because that's what a lot of women go through. A lot of women go through dudes who's just constantly cheating on them, making them look stupid out here. don't no woman want to go through that, and the only thing you saying to make it stand strong is fight through it for the kids' sake. Nah, should nobody have to bear that in their heart.
Well, what I think is what you're saying is true. No woman wants to deal with a man cheating. No man wants to deal with a woman cheating. Once a person has a child, I think that they made a decision that, like, this is the person I decided to start a family with. So you need to do what it takes to make the family work, because that's the decision y'all made.
If
I
it's
don't
healthy,
think making the decision, make it healthy. Two people can make a relationship healthy just as they can make a relationship toxic. And when you say it, most people ain't gonna be willing to harm themselves to do what's best for the child. But if I ask most parents, if a burglar ran in your house, would you sacrifice your life for that child? 100% of them would say yes. So if you're willing to die for your own child, why can't you deal with your baby mama or your baby daddy for your own child, when the numbers show that what's in best interest for your child is for you to be with your baby mama or baby father?
because a situation like that, bro, that's different. I think not any parent. Most parents would die so their kids can live if it came to a life or death situation. But most parents are not finna stay in something what's not healthy for themselves or for the kid. If you bring a kid up in a fucked up ass environment, how you think they gonna turn out? You know, you spoke on kids.
But
They look at
the kid?
huh?
Go ahead.
So
Go ahead.
if kids grow up in a bad environment from looking at their mom and daddy, and you spoke on leading by example, how do you think those kids gonna turn out? You think they gonna know love, or they gonna know chaos?
Well, that comes back to when I'm saying people have to let themselves go. It has to stop being all about what they want and do what's best for the child. There's no reason the baby mama and the baby daddy should be arguing in front of the child. There's no reason they should be fighting or doing any of these toxic things in front of the child, because again, that's contrary to what is best for the child. But once you have the child, the same way a parent is willing to die for their child, that means they're willing to lay their life down for their child. If you're willing to do that, you should be willing to put up with whatever you have to put up to make sure your child has the best for them. Which means if she get on my nerves because she don't flush the toilet, I flush the toilet. I'm gonna complain every time, but I'm gonna flush the toilet. But guess what? At the end of the day, my child is getting what's best for him, and that's having his mother and having his father there to take care of him.
Yeah, and that's cool, but that's speaking in the sense if the bad parts about y'all are not toxic. It's little petty stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's cool, flushing the toilet, or you don't always wash the dishes. Like that's petty. That's not a deal breaker. But I'm speaking for it's like, y'all arguing every day. It's abusive. It's cheating going on. Somebody not feeling appreciated. That stuff what really matter to folks. And you could talk about it all day long, but it gets to a point that people get fed up with that, bro. A person want to really feel appreciated. They don't want to come home in this stress. You know what I'm saying? Like us as black people already deal with enough stress in the world. Don't nobody want to come home the most stress to somebody who don't appreciate them. You know what I'm saying? Like your energy gonna be off. That's gonna rub off on you when you go to work. That's gonna rub off on your kids. So if you in a relationship and you're trying to fight through a war, what's not meant for you to win, to me, that would just be insane.
Okay. So this is what I want to ask you. So you said you changed. When do you think you changed and became a man?
It was what it was. I was 31. I down there hit rock bottom. I really had to take accountability for a lot of shit, and a lot of shit was mainly karma. Like, I did my part out here in these streets, and I underestimated that word karma, and it was my time, and I had to go through it. And I just feel like, reality hit me hard, and I had to change a lot of ways about myself. And the moment I found that I had a kid, that purpose, everything just became the light for me. I felt like God kept me around for that reason, for me to be in my son's life.
So how old was your son when you found out you had a son?
When I found out about my kid, he was 2, and I got full custody right before he was turning 3.
That's an amazing thing. That would be beautiful to be around my daughter every single day. That's for sure. So you became a man. So I see on. Let's discuss some of your quotes. So you got May 13th. This is the controversial stuff that women don't seem to agree with you on. So on one of your posts, you said, where is it? Let's see what my boy says.
What I say? I know I said a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you definitely say a lot of stuff, and women don't rarely agree with anything you say, man. But I can understand because they don't pretty much agree with anything I say.
Before you speed past that, actually,
Hello.
Be surprised how many women actually do agree with me. They just do it through my inbox. A lot of women, they might choose not to get in the comments because they don't want to do the whole back and forth thing. But they'll send me a message saying, bro, you speaking facts and these women ain't trying to hear you. And these coming from women.
I can definitely believe that because they definitely, they have to do the same thing with me. They don't want to, because a lot of times, even when women used to agree with me, there always be some women in the background hating and stuff like that. So let me see this morning. I had it written down on the way it went, but it's okay. All right, so this wasn't too long ago, for sure.
Hey, what's up, everybody watching? All y'all women. See my smile. I'm gonna look that way.
My boy, so since you've been a man, how many relationships have you been in since?
Since you talking about since me like becoming in tune with myself and becoming a man at that point.
Yeah.
None.
Are you looking for a wife?
Yeah and no. And the reason why I say yeah, because if I came across that right one, yeah, most definitely I would pursue it. And the reason why I say no is because the women I've been coming across so far, they just ain't it. and I get told from women that I'm looking for perfect, which is not the case at all. You know, it's key things I look for in a woman to be. And like some of those things is her, you know, being able to comprehend, you know, understanding that, you know, it's not about trying to be right. It's about making sense. You know, I don't need no woman who's stuck in a fantasy and you're basing your reality off that. I need you to be in reality. You know what I'm saying? Look at the results of things. Look at what's going around. You know what I'm saying? I need you to be in tune with reality. Like I ain't but stuff.
I mean, give me an example of a situation where they say something that they're not in tune with reality. Like, what does that look like, or even sound like?
All right, a woman who's not in tune with reality, she'll say stuff like, you know, I feel like a man, you know, should just be okay with, you know, however his woman want to talk to him. Like men don't supposed to have emotions that make him look weak. You know, that's not reality, because every man on earth come with feelings. You know, we care about stuff. Our feelings can get hurt. The world have told men that we don't supposed to show emotions. And I feel like that was one of the most, you know, fucked up thing to tell men and to put that out there. That's why you got a lot of men who really be dealing with depression, but you will never know it. You got a lot of men who's crying, you know, behind the scenes because they feel like they can't show their emotions to people because they gonna get called weak.
So you've actually had a woman who thought she could talk to you however you want to, and you told her that you had a problem with it, and she was just like, "It is what it is," or
I had women tell me that a man don't supposed to care about stuff like that. You don't supposed to care about the emotions a woman lash out with and all this stuff. That a man don't supposed to have feelings about stuff like that. You know, man don't supposed to have feelings about anything except for making sure he getting the money and taking care of home.
I mean, I do think men should have way thicker. Men should be very, very thick skinned and could pretty much care less what a woman do say, but it still depends on what she say.
It's not about what's being said. It's about think about like if you with like the woman you with right now, who you're married to. Imagine her telling you, "You ain't shit. I don't even know why I'm with you." Like that's gonna cut deep, bro. That ain't gonna be no a man have thick skin. No, that's gonna cut deep for you, bro.
It don't cut deep. I mean, you gotta think about it. I mean, as long as you've been knowing women, bro, you know women are emotional and they say things they don't mean. When a woman don't want you no more, it's nothing she would say. They move by actions. They will leave. They start disappearing. They do these type of things like that. So again, if a woman in the house be with me every day, man, my wife, you ain't crap, man. That's my wife on a nice day. That ain't nothing. I'm laughing at that. Like the worst thing my wife ever said to me was eat a dick, and you know how offensive that was to me. But she didn't know no better, and that's the reason why when I asked you, I said, "Have you?" Because I told my wife when she said that was at the beginning of our marriage, like the real beginning, and I said, "Bro, don't ever say no disrespectful crap like that to me again." And she's never said it again. And that's the reason why I said, bro, do you actually tell them? Like, you can't, because again, expecting a woman to not have emotions is one thing. Expecting her to be able to control the disrespect is another. I expect my woman to spaz out. She say ain't, to me that ain't nothing. That's some regular husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend type of stuff like that. That you ain't crap. That ain't finna hurt my feelings. That ain't finna make me stop going to work. That ain't finna do that. I'm finna laugh. Bro, what you cooking tonight? Like, what the crap? I don't care about that. So, and that come with understanding that women are emotional. They have periods. Some days they happy. Some days they mad. And that's just what come with it. You know, it's good to come with them. It's bad to come with them. As a man, we are thick skinned.
That's not what comes with it. That's, to me, my opinion, that's accepting, accepting toxic behavior. I can't agree with that. Like, if a woman stand tall with her king, respect gonna always be there. There's no way in hell you saying that you truly love me regardless of what we going through, and you say, nigga, you ain't shit, you ain't no good father, there's other men out here way better than you, and I'm supposed to be cool with that because that's women? Nah, that means you kind of stripping accountability from them, from their actions. No.
Well, I think accountability comes with them apologizing, and we can move on from that. So tell me this: do you think saying "eat a dick" is okay?
To me, eating a dick is like you down there just telling her disrespectfully, suck my dick. You know what I'm saying? That's some shit.
No, I didn't say eat a dick. She told me to eat a dick.
I mean, yeah, that's.
Would you put up with a woman telling you to eat a dick?
No. If that's how, let me say this. If that's how she been talking to me at the beginning, like if that's her mouth at the beginning stages, then no, I couldn't deal with that. If that's something what kind of came about over time, yeah, we would have a conversation about it. It wouldn't just be over with. We have a conversation like, hey, don't be talking to me like that. I ain't disrespecting you. Don't disrespect me. And if it was to continue on, then to me that would show you don't have no respect for me at all. You know what I'm saying? I just couldn't stand for that because I'm your king, a black king at that. You know what I'm saying? We already get put down too much as it is. And to come home to deal with that from your wife, or wife have to deal with that from her husband, that's just crazy.
Okay, so you're saying at the beginning you wouldn't be able to deal with it, but I'm a witness and I'm a testimony, and I'm telling you that my wife said this to me at the beginning, and we had the discussion about it, and she never disrespected me like that again. So it just shows, like I was telling you, like I think when girl said you're looking for perfect, I do think that you're living this fantasy of women that I know, and I'm sure you know don't exist. The type of women you're looking for, they don't exist. 10K, they don't exist. You're gonna have to be willing to adjust what you're just gonna, it's not gonna come, it's not that easy, bro. It's really not. You gotta take the good with the bad. There's no way a man and a woman it's gonna be good all the time. Because these women nowadays, they want to spend time with you. They want to spend all this time with you. Men and women gonna bump heads. And you have to judge a person by the way they treat you. Not by when they mad, what they said when they was mad. Because as a man, we understand when women get mad, they might say some foul, off the wild stuff. As men, we have to understand that. And guess what? You go to them like, hey bro, that ain't it. You know, do things like get up out of there, don't come back for the night, stuff like that. They get real mad about stuff like that, but it's like you disrespecting me, so they'll accept it. Now, if it's a petty little argument, you gone for the night, and now they're gonna automatically assume you with some girl, they're gonna be pissed off, and then the relationship definitely don't be the same again. But if she disrespected you, she would actually, most women would take accountability for that when you leave and be like, I'm sorry. That's most women. But like you said, if it's later on down the line, there's no reason your girl should be saying that. Now that y'all established and y'all have been together, she should know like you can't cross them boundaries. At the beginning, you could assume they don't know no better. Give them the benefit of the doubt. You talk to them about it. But if y'all already deep in, she should already know like you disrespect me. You know what I mean? So I think I'm not sure if the type of woman you're looking for actually exists. And again, I still would look for the day that like who's gonna actually show your son like how to treat a woman or how a woman's supposed to treat a man if you and your baby mama don't have nobody to represent a relationship.
Let me say this, and don't take it no kind of way. I gotta be blunt. To me, that would just be a delusional way of thinking. There's no way, no way you're telling me, even for one man's hand below the belt with you, that it should still be acceptable. If you're saying that accountability is a person apologizing, then no, you're way on the surface. You're not in deep. You're not in depth with it. Taking accountability is acknowledging what you did wrong, and then from here on out, you're not doing that no more. You're not crossing back into that lane. Anybody could say sorry to you and then do it again. Say sorry and then do it again. Telling the sorry don't mean shit to me. It's what your actions gonna be what shows me that you're really sorry. You know what I'm saying? If I got a woman and you're telling me just because I'm a man that it's okay for her to hit below the belt and I just leave so she could calm down and I calm down. No, bro. There's not too many men who's gonna accept that. There's not too many women who's gonna accept that. If anybody was to accept that, bro, that's like it almost come off like you desperately want to be with somebody because you don't want to be alone. That's how it would come off.
I mean, I again, that's why I think it's a difference between love and what people actually call love. Because again, like I said, when my wife said it, me being from 4 Seasons, I could have easily be like, oh, so you got me effed up, hung up the phone, because she told me this over FaceTime, you know what I mean? So I could have easily hung up the phone, moved on, but got me messed up, and easily quit. It's easy to quit, and that's what the black people do too often. We quit on one another so fast, even if it's kids involved, as if like it doesn't even matter. And to me, that's an issue, that's a problem, and it's our men and women. We are giving up on one another, knowing that we're raised under the circumstances of one parent, and most of the time that's a mom. Even though we know we're at this disadvantage, our black brothers and our black sisters are not showing no mercy to the next brother or sister. We're not. Women taking the kids from the daddies, putting them on child support, men walking away. It is what it is, Shawty, you got an attitude. We're men. Who cares you got an attitude? But like I said, I had a conversation with her, said, bro, don't call me that again. And she hasn't called me that again. It's been 2 years now. She told me that literally like 4 weeks, 5 weeks into the relationship. And now it's gone on 2 years. So that's what I'm saying. Like, people, you gotta communicate with women. Like I said, a good leader could change a woman. They go back to what I was saying at the beginning. See, all this come together. A good leader, a woman would be willing to change. My wife ain't from the hood, nowhere near the hood. So she don't know saying eat a dick is like, she thought I was a homophobe because I took it because I was like, bro, don't ever try me like that again. She had never seen me like serious before that. And when she said that, I literally, no smile, no nothing, like, bro, don't ever say nothing like that to me again. And my wife understood how offended I was about it, how she can't play with me like that. And she never did it again, is what I'm telling you. So what I'm telling you is, I'm not saying accept the verbal abuse. What I'm saying is, she said it, she apologized, and she never did it again. 2 years
hold on,
later.
But speed past that. But the only reason why I feel right is because you saw her actions in that. It wasn't just the apology. The fact that you able to say she never done it again, meaning that you saw her actions from that. It was way more than just words. If she apologized to you and then the next day told you to eat a dick again, how many times she got to tell you to eat a dick for you to feel like maybe this ain't what I need?
It would have to be more than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But again, you gotta understand, even though her language switched from eat a dick, she still said other things. She just didn't say eat a dick anymore. She said stuff like you ain't crap, shit. She said stuff like that, and according to you, that's enough for you to deal. So saying you ain't definitely, that's okay. I can deal with that.
No, listen. When I say a woman saying you ain't shit, I ain't saying if y'all having a petty argument and she like, man, you ain't shit, but how she said it is harmless. I'm talking about she come out talking about, nigga, you ain't shit. Like, what is you to me? You ain't nothing to your kids. I'll do that. You ain't shit to them or me. No, that's something totally different. if you saying that would still be okay to you, and you would be the only first man I met who has said that is okay. Other men who might say that is okay, they got other women on the side. You know what I'm saying?
So do you think men get cheated on and stay with their wife? Do you think there's any men that do that?
Do I think that any man who stay with their wife who get cheated on?
Yeah. After the wife cheat, do you think there's any man that stay with their wife?
No. Well, far as what I've seen and from people I know, no. Unless they was cheating themselves.
I'm saying, do you think that there's any man who get cheated on by their wife and still stay with them? Do you think there's any? Or do you think 100% of men leave their wife the moment they find out they cheat?
I think most men would leave and some men will stay. And the ones who will stay is because they was cheating themselves.
Okay. So you think everybody has this revenge mentality where, okay, you did this, I'm gonna get you back. You don't think there's actually nice, kind, sweet people out there who accept people's apologies? Because even you said earlier, you accept people for who they are. So if you accept people for who they are, if a husband has a wife and his wife cheated and he decided to stay with her, wouldn't that be more accepting her for who she is than you saying I'm out? Because if you say I'm out and you quick to quit, then you're not accepting anybody for who they are. You're accepting them to be the person you want them to be.
That's not the same thing. That wouldn't be you accepting them from who they are. Accepting them for who they are would be if you knew that she likes to get around and you chose to still put your heart in it, and then you get upset about the letdowns. That would be accepting somebody for who they are. Not if y'all mid in a relationship and then your woman cheats on you and that's you accepting her for who she are because that wasn't her at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? That's something new to you. So you got some man who might stay. You got some man who's gonna get the hell on. Me personally, I'm getting the hell on. Especially if I know that.
I know you would.
I know if I'm doing my part as a man in the best way that I can, and you still cheated on me, that means what I'm doing is not enough. Why would I stay for that? Why would I torture myself for that?
Okay, so then what I'm gonna ask you, if you was to get married, do you think when you get married, you're gonna be 100% faithful? You're never gonna mess around with another woman?
Yeah, I'm gonna be 100%. I did it with my ex.
But if you have a wife,
and we weren't even married.
I mean, I believe. Again, I'm a man who I ever even have a phone conversation with a female about anything crazy. So I believe it's possible. I didn't used to believe it's possible, but once I found God, now I know it's possible. You know, so I believe you could do it for sure. But what if you was to cheat? Would you want your wife to accept your apology, or would you want her to feel like that was?
But look, hold up, look.
You made a mistake.
I can't answer the what if I did it, because then now you're gonna make me try to accept something based off of theory when I'd rather keep it in reality. Reality that I wouldn't cheat on my woman. But let's play it your way. If I cheated on my woman and she decides to leave, I respect that. I'm not gonna beg her to stay because I know what I did. I can't be portraying to be this man and then I go out and cheat on my woman. You know what I'm saying? She deserves to leave me if that's what she want to do. You know what I'm saying? Because I disrespected her feelings.
So do you think a man could love his wife and still cheat on her?
If you cheat on your woman, you can't be 100% in love with her, in my opinion.
So you think that men catch feelings when they have sex with a female?
It depends on the man. You got a man who could catch feelings off of
the answer is no. Say you know damn well a man can have sex with a female and not give a damn about it.
No. You said you. Then you just say, can a man catch feelings by having sex with a woman?
No, I said, do you think a man catch feelings when he have sex with a woman? Like, you can't have sex with a woman
No.
just not care about her.
Not all men, but you do got some men who fall in love with that pussy.
Yeah, you got some that fall in love, but when they fall in love, again, so you know men are very capable of having sex with a lot of women and not care about any of them.
Facts. I've been there.
Right?
I've been there.
Okay, so if a man is married, can't he do the same thing? Can't he have sex with another woman that he care nothing about?
No. The difference between that, one time you were single, now you took vows. Big difference. Way big difference.
I agree. Now, I don't think men should cheat. But what I'm saying is, we know it's very possible that even first of all, when a man marries a woman, he marries that woman because of what the values he's seen in her. He wanted her. A man don't necessarily marry a woman because they feel like they're ready to be faithful. They marry a woman because they feel like she is worthy.
Yeah.
So a man could marry a woman because she's worthy, but he could still cheat on her for a woman he care nothing about.
Then why get married?
Because she was worthy, and you seen she was marriage material, and you know, a lot of men know that if you don't marry her, guess what? You're gonna be one of the dudes that regret it because she didn't got snatched up by somebody else.
I feel like
so a lot of men are smart.
I feel like you a dude wasting that woman's time. Just because she's a woman, that don't mean that she deserves to come second for a moment. Just because we man and she's a woman. Cheating is cheating. It's strong no matter who does it. You know what I'm saying? If I married this woman because I felt like she was worthy, that means she is the only one I see. The only one I see. It could be millions of beautiful women in the world. But I chose to marry this one because she had everything that I wanted. Physically, emotionally, spiritually.
And that gets back to the young ladies that told you want somebody perfect. That's what you just said. You just said that when you marry a woman, she's gonna have everything. So when those girls say you looking for somebody perfect, they're telling the truth.
But hold on, before you say that. Hold on, before you say that. Those was not my words. Those the words you want me to have.
Bro, yes, they is. This is what you've been saying.
I know exactly what I say. I did not say that a woman needs to have everything. I never in life would say that.
You just said that.
I said a woman would need to be a woman.
When I marry a woman,
that she has everything that I want in a woman. Not meaning that she's perfect. That mean that you took it in you taking it in another way. When I say everything in a woman, meaning accepting her flaws as well. But she still has everything as a woman that I would want to marry, including her flaws.
Oh, so you will marry a woman that have the flaws that you want a woman to have? Because you can't determine what kind of flaws a woman have. And you have a standard set that...
Say that again.
You basically just said a woman has to have everything that you want a woman to have, including her flaws. And then you're saying you would even accept her, but for her flaws too. But what I'm saying is, according to what you've been saying this whole time, a woman's flaws could be exactly what run you off. So I haven't heard any sense of that, like you're willing to compromise or deal with this or understand it. Because again, we have an understanding that black women are difficult. They're raised with a mama only. They lack all this stuff that we understand. They want to bite, talk back, and all this type of stuff. We have understanding they want to do it, but you're not willing to put up with any of it. And
all right, hold on. Before we speed past that, That means I don't think you been listening to me as clear as you should. I never said anything about not accepting a woman's flaws. I said once you learn who a person are, who they is, who they truly is, it's your choice if you want to deal with them or not. I said clearly, and you spoke on it. I ain't talking about little petty arguments. Shit was petty because shit would never be perfect. You'll never have the perfect relationship. So when I speak on flaws from a woman, meaning if you was a person who's very disrespectful with your words, you know what I'm saying? That's who you are. No, that's something I'm not want to deal with. If you can't comprehend worth shit, that's something I'm not willing to deal with. Those are not looking for perfect. Those are standard things what a man or woman should have regardless. Communication skills.
I mean,
Everybody should
those
have
are
them.
standard.
Huh?
Those are standard, but you're
But
nominating.
those are
I
not
say those are
not
standard, but
those don't mean that you're looking for perfect. That's something what everybody should have. Perfect will be
well, again,
I want you
I'm not taking.
huh?
I think where we get confused and why you think I'm putting words in your mouth is because I'm responding to a comment when you say something like I'm expecting a woman to have everything that I want in a woman, and that itself it brings the motion that you expect a woman to have everything that you expect a woman to have, including her flaws. Every woman's flaws are different. So even if a woman have everything she wants, but you don't like a woman who talk to you crazy, you've already said in this conversation that if a woman talk to you crazy, that's just who she is. Cause like I gave you the example of my wife talking to me crazy, but now 2 years later she never disrespected me like that again. You're not willing to go the 2 years to even see if she would, even if she talked to you, said that, she would have said that to me again. What happened? When did it cut out? When did it cut out, man? No.